So basically, an artificial intelligence is an artificial intelligence. It's a machine that mimics human intelligence in some fashion, typically to do tasks that before we thought only people could do, read, talk to you, look at charts and deduct things from them, all those kind of good stuff, all those sort of soft skills that we thought once were safely the purview of only humans, an AI can take a crack at. You have a whole bunch of data, whatever, x-rays, maps of the subway, the whole corpus of William Shakespeare or whatever, and the machine works its way through it. And the key to it is that it can change its own algorithms through something called machine learning. Here the machine is allowed to diddle its own innards, and you sort of train it. You say, no, this is what the result I want you to find looks like. And it takes that feedback and it changes its own algorithm, its own plan, its own formulas for finding that sort of thing, and gives you an outcome. And it designs, if not a more efficient, a working algorithm that produces the results you want. So anything involving peering at large amounts of data and coming to a conclusion or making some inferences about it, AI can take a shot at. It can be a chatbot. It can look at medical records and make deductions about people's health. It can look at economic indicators and make references or inferences about how that's going to play out. There is just an endless amount of sort of soft office work type job that looks like it's amenable to AI, which is one of the things, of course, that makes people pretty nervous. Right now, the way that we program artificial intelligence, it ain't going to happen. It's essentially a statistical trick where we've got the things to figure out connections between far apart points of data and then knit them together using probabilities that is just essentially math at work. The things have no idea how it's going to work, and it's always going to be that statistical trick. So unless something changes in sort of our understanding of how to program these things, AIs are forever going to be non-sentient, essentially mimicking us, fooling us, deceiving us into thinking that they're sentient, but not really getting to that point. There are any number of huge ethical implications of using AI. For starters, it's all based on the data that you feed to it. So if you feed it a database that's biased or wrong or dishonest or malicious, then it's going to come up with answers that are biased, wrong, malicious, or dishonest. The concern is about putting people out of jobs needlessly. You can make a sort of half-baked AI to write news copy. Why would you need to hire reporters to write something that's intelligent or honest? The same goes for anybody, lawyers, doctors, just about anything that involves sort of thinking and synthesizing huge amounts of data. You could see AI posing a threat to their job, and it might not give us the results we want. There are a lot of concerns about who might control the AI. If you're being sold it for a very high rate, but you can't do your job without it, there's also the fear you're sort of giving the keys to your livelihood over to people who may not have your best interest at heart if you become reliant on AI. So there's a lot of ethical concerns about theft, intellectual property theft, basically being the basis for AI, where a lot of the databases that are sort of sorted through by the AI in order to come up with its products are actually donations from other people, or they're other people's property, where essentially the AI is just cutting and pasting or pastiching other people's work and then calling it its own. And particularly with artists, you see concern that their art is being ripped off. Essentially it's just taking their picture and then slapping somebody else's face on it and saying, aha, it's artificial intelligence. Really all they've done is stolen from an artist. There are people who are thrilled with AI and think it's going to replace a lot of people's jobs or that it's going to make a lot of people's jobs better. And there are other people, though, who have found the limitations to AI. It doesn't turn out, sterling work every time. It turns to produce like sort of a mediocre product. Will it get better? Undoubtedly it'll get better. Will it get better enough to actually replace the very best? It's still unclear.